Hi, I'm attorney Vincent Davis, and I've been fighting CPS for over 35 years. Through my years of experience, I've gained invaluable insights that I'm ready to share with you. If you're a parent or a caregiver or a relative, we need to talk. I'm offering a new opportunity for you to speak with me on a one-on-one basis. Ask me any questions, and I'll provide you with the insight you need to take steps in your CPS case. Members get everything they need to gain confidence and the knowledge that they need to support necessary to truly fight back. And as a special thank you for attending, I have a special offer just for you. Don't miss out, join us, and let's take that next step together. I'll see you at the question and answer event.
Good morning and happy Thanksgiving. I'm very blessed to be able to join you and help you fight CPS. I'm very thankful. Today, as we give thanks, today we're with family and friends. And I know a lot of you aren't with your families, me included. It's really hard. It's hard. It's a hard thing in life, what we go through. And what you're going through right now is one of the worst times of my life and still remains to be so. You just heard from my attorney, Vincent Davis, who just gave you a heads up about a podcast this Saturday that he encouraged you all to invite and hear him for question and answers of how to fight CPS and how to get your children back or how to hang on to your children. It's sad about what has happened with the cases that our children have been in. Our family's been broken apart. It's also sad that a lot of the CPS is corrupt. A lot of it is. Now, we use the word CPS, and what I mean it to mean is a child protection system. In a lot of different states, it can have different names. In Arizona's Department of Children's Services. In Kentucky, it is called the Cabinet. Even among counties in the same state, like Orange County and LA County. In Orange County's Child Protection Services. In LA, it's Department of Children and Family Services, DCFS. So when I say CPS, I mean all of them, all the child protection systems. And what it is, it's a branch of social services that was mandated to protect by Congress, to protect our children from neglect or abuse. For a long time, our children have been abused. I found cases going back to the 1600s. And the child protection system divided CPS into three timelines, one from 1600 to 1875, and then from 1875 to 1962, and 1962 to the present. There were two instrumental changes made in 1978 when the Indian Child Welfare Act was created to protect Indian children, because CPS was for a long time, since they were put on reservations in the 1870s, not do family reunification. But in 1997, President Clinton signed the Law, the Incentive Act, which further put a nail in the coffin of family reunifications. Because what has happened is with that incentive, the child protection system gets more money for closing out cases and putting them into adoption, which is sad because unification has dropped drastically from 1997 to now. In fact, I've already talked to over 600 people in the United States and around the world to 17 different countries. The common denominator is CPS is corrupt. They take my children unnecessary. They don't keep their promises. They put me down. They don't do reunification. And they make up stories. They lie. They do revengeful tactics. They're poor taste of social workers. That's from over the 600 some people I've talked to. And I've, as I say, I've talked to people from Bangladesh, from India, from the Middle East, from Africa, several countries there. I've talked to Europe, and then I've crossed the pond to North America. I've talked to Canada, United States, all 50 states, including Washington, D.C., Mexico, and South America, and then across the Pacific to land down under to Australia and to New Zealand. So those are the countries that I'm talking to. And Africa was a continent. There's like 3 or 4 countries in there. But anyway, worldwide, they have an issue too with CPS. It's very corrupt. I'm sad to say for it. CPS is supposed to protect our children from neglect and abuse and to offer aid in the form of food, shelter, clothing, transportation, medical, and education, and also to help you get a job if you need one. All you have to do is ask. And if they need to take your family apart because of extreme danger to the children from whatever actions they've come across, it's a temporary thing. They're supposed to do family reunification because studies have proven the best parents are the biological parents. It isn't to traffic children into foster care or to alienate children from their parents. But those two terms are illegal. That process is illegal. But CPS gets away with it and wants to take your children, steal your children, traffic your children into foster care, get them adopted. It's sad. It really is sad. Now, you just heard my attorney, Vincent Davis. His background is juvenile family dependency law. That means he knows everything you need to know on fighting CPS. He's one of the top attorneys in the country. And as he said, he has 35 years of fighting CPS. He's also a trial attorney. And furthermore, he has fought civil cases. When the case is closed, he'll do a civil case and fight CPS and has won millions of dollars in both federal and state courts. So he's the real deal. When you look for an attorney, the first thing you have to ask the law firm or the attorney, are you a juvenile family dependency lawyer? If the and it's fought CPS, the answer is yes. That's a good start. Second question: have you ever did a lawsuit, a civil lawsuit against CPS? The answer and won. If the answer is yes, then you got yourself the attorney you need to get a hold of. Now I have a number here, 888-888-6582 on my screen. Now, if you want to retain Mr. Davis, you can call in right now to my office. Make sure you tell him that Bob Pace sent you. And when you talk to Mr. Davis, make sure you tell him that Bob Pace sent you. It's a really hard process that CPS is. It will tax you. I've been fighting CPS for over 15 years. It started in 2010, unfortunately, when I lost my job through no fault of my own. And then I started for 5 years, get calls from CPS that said I was doing certain things to my children. I did not know at the time that my in-laws were making the calls. These were my wife's mother, father, 3 sisters, and brother in Ohio. They were calling California CPS and saying things that weren't true. They were trying to take our children. I have 3 younger children and 3 older children. I have 42 years of marriage, and I have a lot of experience raising family, raising children, and, dealing with a lot in life. A lot to do in life there. And so I kind of help you. I'm not an attorney, but I have those experiences. I've been through a CPS case. After those 5 years of faults and defending myself. Then they decided to take matters in their own hand and got the police and forced me to open my home and forcefully took my children. They trafficked my 3 younger children. Luckily, the 3 older ones were living on their own and they didn't touch them. But CPS in Orange County is very corrupt. They were getting $20,000 per child per month. That's $60,000 just from my family alone that the federal government was paying the state and the state was paying the county. The money moves. There's no accountability. It's easy money. And with that incentive law that Clinton passed, it so hurts reunification. Statistics are down to what it used to be. So that's a law that hasn't helped. It's a law that hasn't helped. There's been other things been passed, but we need to revamp this child protection agency. Now, they need to break apart the family because of domestic violence. They're supposed to do unification. That means put the family back together, and they are the best families, biological, are the best ones to take care of the family. Now, there are 4 ways to interact with this podcast. One way is to be in this room right away. And being on so early in the morning, it's going to be the people here on the West Coast are probably going to miss my podcast, but it's recorded, so not to worry. You get to hear what I have to say. So you can use emojis and listen and take notes. But if you want to do more, you can do what's called texting a message to me on the screen. All I ask you is when you type a question or a comment that pertains to CPS, please show me your first name and then your city or county and your state. And if you're from outside the United States, please show your country in addition to those other things. Also, if you have provinces instead of state, list your province. And try to be complete with your CPS case. So better off. That way you don't play a lot of ping pong ball back and forth. So that is a second way of interacting with the podcast. A third way is to be a guest on my podcast. I have room for 9 windows on here. All you need to do is email my show producer. Her name is Grace, and she can be reached at grace@vincentwdavis.com. Now, I'm on 7 days a week, twice a day. That's 14 shows a week. I come on at typically 10 o'clock in the morning Pacific Standard Time and 7 o'clock at night. There are certain times, like this morning, I'm coming on at 7:30, and because of Thanksgiving, I have commitments I need to attend to, so I come on a couple hours early. So, this Friday, I'll be on at 4 o'clock because I have Friday Night Lights, high school football. It's a championship game, so I'll be gone on Friday nights. On Saturday, I come on at 8 o'clock because Vincent shows at 10 o'clock. And on Sunday, I come on at 8 o'clock because I got church. So those are the times there. So just pick one of those times, morning or afternoon show, and Monday through Sunday. And you email it to grace@vincentwdavis.com, and she'll take care of the rest. She'll contact you the link. I'm broadcasting on YouTube, and I'm using the application called StreamYard. So she gave you the link. If you fall off that link, use that link again. That link's good for the show. And she'll tell you the do's or don'ts or what you can do on the podcast. She'll tell you that. So that's to be a guest. And lastly is my phone number. Right now, you can call me at 626-698-0990. I am live, and I want to help you. I want to help you with your case. And so I implore you to call in, and we can talk about your case. Furthermore, If you are a guest on my show, and after you're a guest, or after you talk to me on my phone, my speakerphone, you're eligible for a 15-minute session with Mr. Davis. All you have to do is tell me yes, and then text me your name, your full name, your email, and your phone number. And then I will go ahead and contact Grace, who will set up the 15-minute Zoom conference with Mr. Davis. You can talk about anything about your case, anything about your case. So that is really important to think about being a guest or to talk on my phone. Now, my phone hours are during my show time. If you call me before my show time or after my show time, I can't help you. I can't answer the phone. So I'm leaving my phone number up. And furthermore, if 15 minutes is not long enough to talk to Vincent Davis, I have a special arrangement with Mr. Davis for 30 minutes. It's scrolling across the bottom of my screen. You'll need to go to a website. Once you go to that website, you pay $60 for 30 minutes and register for a Zoom conference for 30 minutes for Mr. Davis. They'll stay up the whole show. My number and the ticket will stay up the whole show. Now, there are 5 simple rules I say every show there. Rule 1 is to get an attorney. I don't know how important to get an attorney because CPS is like open heart surgery. You're Alice in Wonderland, you fall in the rabbit hole, you met the Chester cat, and you're going from room to room to go nowhere. But with the attorney, it will help you get your kids back. I fortunately tried to use a court-appointed attorney. I found out that they're no good. They have a caseload of 50 or 30 or more clients. They don't have time for your case. They're also only trained in criminal law. They're brand new attorneys. And they're controlled by CPS. So you're not going to get your kids back. They're going to try to look at the easiest way to go through things. So I recommend that you get yourself a real attorney. And I already told you how to look for one. Because you need that to fight them. You can't use yourself. Sometimes I wonder if it's better that than a court-appointed attorney. But you need someone to go through and get your children back. They're very important. And you have to understand, CPS lies. They also do revengeful attacking. My case got so bad where they forced my daughter to emancipate. That means to divorce her mom, her dad, her both sets of grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins, and her 2 brothers forever. She was forced to change her name. She was forced to seal her birth certificate. And she got a new birth certificate with her adopted parents as the father and the mother. And what's even so sad, this all happened at age 12 when the social worker committed perjury where she lied on the stand. She was caught with a lie on the stand and she retaliated. She told his parents, "You'll never see your daughter again." And sadly, it's affected me. So here we're Thanksgiving. We've not had Thanksgiving with a complete family since 2014. Now, this Thanksgiving, my 2 sons are going to go over to her house with her adopted parents with my other sisters. My family's become estranged because of these incidents. I only have 2 sons that live with us, my younger sons. And both of them are in college and both of them are doing well. But it's sad when it comes time for the holidays, Christmas and Thanksgiving especially. And I know how hard it is for you all out there. It really is a really hard thing. Now, rule number 2 is to organize your paperwork, have a notebook, have subject dividers, have plenty of notebook paper. And one of the most important documents to put in it is a timeline incident log. Anytime you have an incident with the social workers or the police or the school administrators or the school people or even the hospital or family or friends or whatever, you write down on the first line the date, the time, the people involved in the location. Second line, you write a summary of what the incident was about. The third line is you write the outcome. And you keep repeating that. That document will be important because 3 or 4 years, you won't remember it all. Now, rule number 3 is you do not talk to social workers. And you do not allow them in your home. You do not allow them to take your children. You don't answer the door. Too many people have been shot to death or killed answering the door. You don't know who's at the door, so don't open it. It's your drawbridge, your castle. Your door is closed. You can get back to them, but you make sure you tell them that you meet with them with your attorney. And you want to meet at a neutral place like Starbucks or McDonald's. Don't meet at their office or meet at your home. They're fishing. They're fishing to use things that find your home against you. So you got to be careful about that. There's 3 ways they can get into your home. 1, you give them permission, which I don't think most likely you do. 2, there's domestic violence taking place where the child is in danger, like arguments or throwing things or hurting each other, hurting with the child. So they will enter the home, the social worker and the police. The police come with a social worker for their safety. Too many social workers have been hurt coming out to investigate. Now, if you meet them outside, an easy way to stall for some time is tell them that you have to have your attorney present. Your constitutional right is to have an attorney present for all legal matters. This is a legal matter. You don't want to address them without counsel because you won't know how to defend yourself, and they'll end up taking your children and to have them adopted or trafficked into foster care. They don't seem to care. They just don't seem to care. And I'm not saying the whole child protection system is corrupt. It's the people I talked to, over 600 people, and my own case. I have firsthand experience. And I know what they did to my case because I lost my daughter because of that retaliation. They're so corrupt. They're so evil. And I don't know what else to tell you, but they're really bad. So that is, also there's medical trafficking that goes on. You got to be careful about. If you have to take your children into urgent care, emergency at the hospital, and or you're pregnant and you're going to have a child, do not let them take your children. There's social workers that work there. They'll overlook or overhear things and think something's bad happened, and they're going to say, we need to take your child. No. As I told you, there's only 3 ways. 2 of them, well, one of them you give them permission. The second one is a warrant. They got to have a warrant to talk to you. They got to have a warrant to take your children. And a warrant is a legal court document signed by a judge. And, you got to look at it to make sure it's legitimate because there's a lot of times there's false warrants. So that's rule number 3. Rule number 4 is easy. It's just the format that you need to use when you are researching the internet about CPS. It's important you put your city first. If it's a small city, put a second city, a larger city with a small city. Put the state, and then put the big letters CPS. And then after that, you put down the policies, procedures, or how to file a 388 motion, or how to appeal your decision. Anything you need to find out about CPS, do so. And do it and spend 60 hours on it. You'll learn so much from the internet about how to fight CPS. And lastly, rule number 5 is to make sure you gather all your legal documents, birth certificates, marriage certificates, driver's license, school grade reports, shot cards, medical records, anything of that nature. They can be copies. Put it in an envelope and seal it so that you have it with you in your notebook. That's really important because they'll ask you for a lot of those things. So you got to have it. You got to have it there. So those are my 5 rules. I just went through them. Now, my podcast is going to be short today because I do need to gather up the family and go for a special function. So, anyway, I've told you about the rules and I've told you about that. So, what I want you all to do is think about what I've said. Think about what I've said and be careful out there. Do not talk to social workers or the police without an attorney present. I emphasize that. Do not trust CPS what they say. They'll build you up and tear you apart. But I want you to be thankful that you have your life. And those that have their families, I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy because hang on to them. CPS is not very kind. And I want to God bless you all and thank you all for being in this room. I appreciate the emojis and all my friends and stuff. So happy Thanksgiving to you all. And God bless you all. And I'll be on tonight, Thanksgiving night at 7 p.m. I've forgotten a show in over a year. I have done over 700 shows. So I do know a little bit about how to help you, and I'm willing to help you go the extra mile. So God bless you. Happy Thanksgiving. And there'll be a brief message from Vincent Davis when I sign off. And I'll see you tonight at 7 p.m.
Hi, I'm attorney Vincent Davis, and I've been fighting CPS for over 35 years. Through my years of experience, I've gained invaluable insights that I'm ready to share with you. If you're a parent or a caregiver or a relative, we need to talk. I'm offering a new opportunity for you to speak with me on a one-on-one basis. Ask me any questions, and I'll provide you with the insight you need to take steps in your CPS case. Members get everything they need to gain confidence and the knowledge that they need to support necessary to truly fight back. And as a special thank you for attending, I have a special offer just for you. Don't miss out. Join us, and let's take that next step together. I'll see you at the question and answer event.